Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dee Reinhardt. I am your guide today for ISETS. I am going to answer whatever questions that you have today. And if you need to see things in production, we will end the recording first before we answer live questions because we don't want to share personally identifying information in the recording that we post. So I am happy to answer questions that you might have. I need to put in the right password here. Let's try a test site. Gracious sakes alive. Well, I'm just going to start over. If at first you don't succeed, don't try 12 times. Somebody must be pushing something. Okay, let's try this one more time. Right, somebody was pushing something, so we'll go to production and check the dashboard here. Does anyone have a question about how to find your customers that are on your list? If you are logged in, all you have to do is come to the dashboard page for ISETS, and then you can go to the referrals tab. It will show you if there are people in the referrals. You can look at the snapshot to see what's going on, and then you can also look at the list view. It will show you how many people are in a referral area, and based upon the color, those are the most critical pieces. The yellow needs attention, but the red ones are past due. And then you can check the number, click the number in front of that list item, and you can update those referrals based upon the list of people that show up. Then once the referrals are approved, you can take action on them to add services for your agency that you will be providing. We also have a section in here for appointments, because if someone is going to schedule a participant to an appointment for your organization, there needs to be appointments available. So let me show you real quick how you can add appointments. Let me go back and check to see if test is available. Okay, we're going to do it in production. So, Bill, since you happen to be on the call, I'm going to use your organization. So under the provider info tab at the top of your menu here across the top, you click on the provider info tab, and right here, this very first tab says appointments. You want to select a project. So we're going to select ISETS. We're going to select a program. So based upon the program with which you have a DHS contract, that's the program that you're going to pick. So Bill, what is the program that you're doing? Are you doing SnapJP or EarnFare or SnapJP?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so then you would select SnapJP, and you may only see your provider, but because I'm logged in as a super admin, I see all of the providers. So we're going to pick Phalanx. And then I'm going to click an add appointment site, or I can click filter to see what I already have there. We don't have an appointment site added for Phalanx, so we're going to add an appointment site. What name do you want to call this, Bill? What's your location name? Do you have remote locations or just the one main office?
Phalanx.
Just the one location down on 118th
yes,
or whatever it is?
Yes, ma'am. 119th Street.
I was close.
You one block away.
Okay. And what kind of information do you want added, or what do you want your participants to bring with them?
Social Security card and identification.
Okay. Are you still masking there or not?
No.
Okay.
But they have to bring a mask as well.
Okay.
Until the higher ups give the okay.
Okay. All right, so we're going to save that. And then what we do is we can edit the schedule. So then when we come in, we can add an appointment. And we pick a date. So let's say, when do you normally take your intake appointments, Bill?
Every day except Friday.
Okay, so we'll add one.
We do a Zoom on Tuesday. So it'll be the following Monday if we get all the. No, we take appointments all day long except for Fridays.
Okay, so
all week long.
We'll pick the 20th, and are they every hour or what time do you start?
10.
Okay, at 10 o'clock.
Wednesday would be at 10 o'clock. Walk-ins no more than 10, I believe it is.
Okay.
Those are for walk-ins because
So are
some
they an hour-long appointment?
half hour,
Okay.
30 minutes tops.
Well, they automatically schedule them for an hour, so
Okay, we'll take the hour.
I'll give them an hour. All right, and then number of openings, you said 10 at a
10.
time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to add that appointment. So that'll show up for tomorrow. And then all you have to do is just click add, pick a date. So if that would be the 21st, we'll pick that. It would then be 10 o'clock again tomorrow. I mean, Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Thursday.
Automatic hour. How many on that day? 10?
10.
Okay. Add appointment. So you can go through and do a month or more appointments all at one time.
Ooh.
What you can also do is add another location. So if I return to schedule list, you can pick your program again and phalanx. We can add another appointment site and we can say Zoom. So you
Okay.
could do
Because we do Zoom.
Zoom intake.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the instructions? You could actually put the link in here
Right.
for your Zoom meeting. And save it. And then you can edit the schedule. So if we edit, that appointment would be on Tuesday, you said, right? So the 26th.
Yep.
And what time is that appointment?
10 o'clock.
And we are recording this, just so that you know.
Absolutely.
And AM for an hour. How many openings do you have on the Zoom call?
It's open.
Open. So the
Mm-hmm.
most we can put in is 20.
Okay.
All right, and then we can add that appointment. And so then you can just add those appointments for that location. And then if we go back to our calendar, we see that we have a 10 a.m. appointment for that location. And if I pick the program, the provider, it shows me what the different locations are, and then it will show the schedule. And then what this does is it shows up in the referral information for when somebody is from DHS is making a referral to your organization. So the goal here is to have a minimum of 1 month. The preference would probably be 2 months worth of appointments listed on here so that if your appointment slots are full, then they can just schedule them out as far as they can. All right, so any questions about this?
Not at all. You answered my question.
All right. So we do have a couple of people on here. Do any of you have questions about the appointments? And this is for intake for referrals from that DHS is making to you as a provider. The referrals, the reverse referrals to DHS do not require appointments because I don't think in most cases they are not going to have to meet with them like they used to have to meet during the days of Epic.
Question, Ms. Reinhardt.
Yes, sir.
Well, since we are doing reverse referrals, this would not apply.
Correct, but you need to have the appointments in there so that DHS can refer someone to you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. The other thing that we need to have from each organization is a program manager. And the program manager will work on the contract information, the program actual information. So if I go to select a program here and I filter, and I'm looking at Catholic Charities program, the program manager from your organization will go in and edit and make sure that all of the information is listed. So for example, if I edit this program, what are all of the pieces that need to be added that you are offering from your organization? So if you have not designated a program manager, you need to contact Andy Grabmeyer so that she can let me know who needs to be added as the program manager for your organization. And do you all have Andy's email address? Or at least the directors of your programs? And then you would fill in a program description. All right, Liz. You would add target occupations for your program. So like Liz's program might be CNC or welding. And then you would save and go to the next page. You would mark the recommended criteria for these programs so that we can match potential customers with your program based on the criteria that you mark here. And then you would finish the program. Questions about program details? We do have instructions for all of this, and you can follow along with all of those videos that we've done under the My Training. When you go to your profile name, click the drop down arrow and you'll see a My Training. When you go to that My Training, it has the ISETS program. You would start the ISETS training module, and there is a video related to each of the pieces that you need to know about for this. I still do have a couple of recordings that I need to complete once the pieces are finished programming. So we have all of this information available for training assistance for you. We also have the partner page so that it can be found at illinoisworknet.com/ISETS partners. I'll grab this link and put this in the chat for you. So that if you need to find additional resources, we have trainings that we've done. I've not been able to get last week's recording posted. I still need to obtain the MP4 file. I will post today's as soon as possible. We have a list of resources that is being added to as items come up and become available. And we will continue to add resources here. We do have an FAQ that you can click and filter through. You'll look for workforce partners, and then there's a variety of questions available. So that is all available for you as users. We're trying to make this as friendly as possible for you so that you can get as much information as possible. So the time is yours to ask questions. What can I answer for you?
Hi,
Hi.
Dee.
Oh,
No,
who's
go ahead.
first?
No, you go ahead. I think that's Laura's. I think we may have the same question. So you go right ahead.
Okay.
That's Laura's. Yeah, it sounds like her voice.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Hi,
Okay,
Dee.
go right ahead.
Hi, Dee. How are you?
I'm good. Who's this?
This is Loris
Oh,
Cannon.
hi, Loris. How are you?
I'm good. So my question is, you were just on the partners page. Are we able to, or will we be able to upload different flyers for our different programs as well, or no?
We're not doing that yet.
Okay.
Let me check with Andy. That would be a good question to send by email to Andy Grabmeyer and copy me on that so that we can add some information. This is the partners page. So I don't know if you would want that on a public page or on the partners page, but we could probably figure something out.
You know, like similar to what we did with Epic, we were able to,
Right.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So like if somebody comes in and you're not offering a welding program, but you know that JARC is, then you could find the flyer from JARC and share the information with the participant.
Okay.
And vice versa. That's what you're meaning, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And my next question is, are the providers entering the information for the customers, or will that information, preliminary information, be entered by other staff, DHS staff?
So what we have right now is participants who were in the system like January and February. We're trying to get all of those people entered, and then you'll complete the information for them. So if you go to your dashboard, and it's going to take it a second to think. So if you go to your dashboard and you see right here, I've got 238 people not participating. If I click on that, it will give me a list of all of the first name and last name and associated agency. So if you filled out your PPR and sent it to Andy, she is sending me those lists with start dates, and we're updating those customers with start dates. And then you can go in and complete the initial assessment and the follow-up assessment, the needs assessment for each of those customers. You don't have to do the reverse referrals on them because they're already active in your system, and then you would just continue working with the IEP, like their career plan, right?
Right.
And I can, let me see if I can get in here yet. Because I don't want to show you names in production. All right, so if I go to my customer group, if I go to my dashboard, we'll start over with that. If I go to my dashboard and I look at my not participating yet here, I would look at those. I would see who they were. They were all coming from Lower North. I would click on that profile. I would go to the intake and referral. I would look at the universal assessment and see if both pieces have been completed. In most cases, the customers that we're adding to the system in the back end will not have either of these completed. And so then you'll be able to complete those and then move on to the IEP and add their activities and services. I'm sorry, I want you to add them from here, where you're going to add activities and services from this spot. Because when we look at the recommended providers and referrals, we have a recommendation here. We can enroll them in the program and add the activities, and then it will allow us to go to the career plan from here. And then you can update the dates and the services that were associated with that. All right, so does that answer your question, Loris?
Yes, I also have another question.
Sure,
So,
sure.
since you all are going to work on trying to upload the information from January and February, should the providers start entering information from March on, or no?
We may be able to get March entered as well. I would start with April because you haven't done your PPRs yet for April. So I would work on trying to enter the April people that you have by adding a new customer. So if I go to my customer group, I search this IES customer, that's where you compare against the IES list. Now, tomorrow we get a new data set from IES, and we're going to work on getting our sync to work for the very first time, an automated sync. So tomorrow that's supposed to be done by 8:30 in the morning. So tomorrow would be a good test to see if your people are still active or not, that you've been working with since April 1st.
Okay.
And we're going to work on trying to get January, February, and March entered. And then slowly but surely, we'll try and get the other months entered. But as of July 1, Andy said last week that we will be working through the system completely. So you get a little bit of a grace period here to learn the system and make sure that you're using it accurately.
So Dee, ideally, we should just wait for the data set, and will it be updated on the 20th of every month, or no?
The sync happens on the 5th and the 20th of each month.
Okay.
So eventually, the overall goal is to have an automatic sync daily, but I don't know that that will happen anytime in the very near future. So right now we get data from IES on the 5th and the 20th of each month. So I don't know that I would enter anybody today. I'd probably wait and enter them tomorrow if you have anybody new that you want to enter.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Who else has a question? Aaron must have an orange Post-it note over his camera.
Yes.
And Emily has, a white that's folded up or out. Or no, a yellow one that's folded out.
Dee, I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Loris. So with the ISETS, we will be able to run reports, correct?
What kind of reports do you want to run?
Let's just say, for instance, you want to know how many placements you did in January. Let's just say January. So would I be able to run a report to gather that data?
We have some, the staffing and billing tools built so that you can do your staffing reports for the month. Then we also have, let me go back. We have the 4333, we have supportive services summary, and we have the time, what is it, the 2610 that you can use. And on the customer's profile themselves, we have the activity report, the staffing report, and then for earn fare, we have the 2606D. So right now, besides staffing, these are the only reports that we have available. And are those the ones that you were looking for?
No, not necessarily. I'm just speaking on if I needed to collect some data, would I be able to run a report based on the data that I'm trying to retrieve?
You may be able to get some of the data from the dashboard. But we don't have, at this time, we only have the dashboard and these particular reports ready.
Okay. Is this something that can happen in the future?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not promising anything, but maybe.
Okay, because we may just want to know how many customers are making $20 an hour, or how many customers are making $15 an hour.
And I think that there is some of this in the outcomes employment summary that I think they want to do the wage gathering on this. I would have to go back and check the planning document for this to see what the intention is for the employment summary.
Okay.
All right. But that's a great suggestion. I can add it to a wish list and see if it's already in the planning document, and then we would know.
Okay, sounds good.
Sure. Any other questions?
Hi, Dee. This is Emma with JARC. I have a question.
Sure.
So can you just briefly touch on reverse referrals? And I mean, I followed like the step-by-step of how to do one and completed a reverse referral. But with the reverse referrals, is it tied to the sync on the 5th, on the 20th, where that person, if they're approved, will like show up on the 20th? Or when should you see that?
The reverse referrals, once you do a reverse referral, it will show up in this dashboard here.
Okay.
For DHS to take a look at it. And I'm looking at the names on the call today, and we have quite a few of the, I'm thinking these are work dev people that are on here that are going to be doing some of the review of those reverse referrals.
Okay.
So they will check to see who's listed in these referrals when you complete the reverse referral. Now, we've had a little bit of a challenge with this coming through because it's the new people and getting them into, getting them in the right place and getting people into a rhythm and all that kind of good stuff. So we are going to work on getting this into a flow.
Okay, so just be patient is what you're telling me.
For the moment, yeah.
Okay.
Have you submitted someone that hasn't been acted upon yet?
So we submitted one, it was like mid-March, I think. So it was like the week I feel like we got on board with adding stuff to ISETS and stuff like that. So I had sent it via email and then resent it through ISETS, and it actually got approved via email. So we're kind of just waiting to see this person show up on our dashboard.
Okay.
But but we haven't like never saw it under referrals or anything like that. So it just
Okay.
feels like we're in a limbo.
Okay, do me a favor and send me an email with the first name, the last name, and the email address or any other number that you entered for that person so that I can look them up and
Okay.
see where they fall.
Okay. Because I did complete the universal assessment for them, but beyond that, it won't let me do anything for that person. And I assume it's because they're not under my program.
They probably haven't been approved yet. So it's a possibility that they're one of these two red flags right here.
Okay.
So, but I'm not clicking on this to show names right now.
Okie doke. I'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you. And whenever you send emails like that, please make sure that you copy Andy Grabmeyer on there, Andrea Grabmeyer at illinois.gov. Let me put her email address in the chat. Because she can also check the system as well to see where the people are. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, we are here every week through May. And there is a link on the partner page, on the front page. We are going to be changing the join link. Right now it is under Natasha's email under her user system. And so I'm going to change it to mine. And then we will have that available here for you. When you join, you're welcome to add these dates to your calendar. What's the name of the site that you're on? My screen doesn't look like yours. Let me put the link into the chat for you. And you can bookmark that page because that has all of the resources on it. Did you get that, Arliss? All right, great. All right. Well, everybody, you have a great rest of your day. I've eaten all of the candy at my house from Easter, so I don't have to worry about it over the next few days.
Thanks a lot for everything, Dee.
Thanks,
You're
Dee.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.